Hi, friends, and welcome back to Right Away After Party, part 3 of workshops. And we were discussing the nuances of workshops and how they can get really nitty gritty, but then also like your expectations of the workshops. And so I think this one workshop I want to talk about is I took a workshop on dialogue clues and facial expressions. Now, how specific is that workshop? Now, if you're a new writer, are you going to be taking that workshop? Probably not, right? You're going to want to take a workshop that deals with like language and structure and pacing. But all of those are different workshops, in my opinion. What do you think, Kath?
Yeah, I agree.
No,
See,
I'm serious. Like I think like as a new writer, like you should look for the most basic workshops. Like really look for like really nitty-gritty down to like plot. Like do you know what plot is? Like can you plot? Do you need to take a workshop on plot? Like and like sometimes as a writer you need a refresher course, like let me think of a new way to run plot. So sometimes it's not about the vehicle running the bus, sometimes it's about the character running the vehicle.
don't let the pigeon. No, never mind.
Yeah. But I think I think the first thing you need to do before you start looking for a workshop on writing is getting down to like why am I taking this workshop? What do I need from this workshop? Is this workshop
Mm.
going to fulfill what I'm looking for?
Yeah, and understanding what sort of I can't let go of my little pen. Um, please, this is my hint to you. You keep taking notes. Um,
Yes.
One of the mistakes that I made was I would just, if I saw a workshop, I would go. I would
Yeah.
go. And most of the time I was up to here or up to here because I didn't understand half of the language and the things they were talking about. So kind of understand what generic genre. Do you want to write for kids? Do you want to write for tiny kids who are just learning to read? Or do you want to write the great big epic novels? And that will help streamline. Not that any of the workshops were bad, and they
Yeah.
won't be bad. Um, every workshop is going to give you something either by what you learn or what
Yeah.
you learn not to do.
Yes. And I mean, and the thing is too, is like no matter what workshop you take, you're gonna be around writers, you're gonna have community. And like that is one of the biggest reasons why I do still take workshops is to be around community. Because writing can be so isolating, right? It's such a
Mhm.
solitary, other than when well, except when you have writer friends and you're
Yeah,
working on projects together. But
exactly. And that's part of the reason why you and I started this mini
yes,
podcast because we want to reach out to others. And we did promise you we were going to bring somebody in, but guess what? That somebody is away at a workshop.
yes.
And so hopefully they'll be free next week. However, we are still interested in talking to you, interested in sharing our experience, and we'd love to hear back from you with your experiences as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like we would love for our audience to like, give us comments and like let us know like what kind of workshops they take and what kind of workshops they didn't like. Or like,
Mm,
you can ask us questions about like how do you know what the right workshop is to take when you're in this specific area or, just, path in your writing career. So it's,
mm.
sometimes if you're just starting out, that's it's a really interesting way to maneuver, like how to get in and how like I hear that all the time. Like, where do you even start?
Mm.
Like, where do you start? And I think what you said is important is like what kind of book do you want to write?
Yeah, and I just want to circle back to something that you talked about, which was writer friends.
Mm,
Before we have writer friends, where do we get writer friends if we don't know anybody? So going to a workshop is a really good idea. Not only do you get fellow writers, you also get to hear other voices, and that's really, really important. And
yes.
good writers read. They read across the
Yes.
board. They read all sorts of things. So read, practice, write, train
Yes.
yourself. It's a full-time thing.
It's so true.
It
So true.
is. All right, my lovelies. This has been a blast.
This has been a great time. All
Yep.
right,
We'll
everyone.
talk to you soon. Bye bye.